Hey guys, so I had to come out and say this is why Electroneum is the leader of the pack. This stand shows you why they're the leader of the pack. It was risky. I would say it's risky, and I would say that Richard probably agreed. But it was a genius move, genius marketing move, and I agree with this Jay Sutherland on Twitter. Electroneum shined with a brilliant, outstanding presence that spoke directly to the community, relators, corporate, and the masses, especially the unbanked. Genius marketing at its best. Absolutely. And also making that phone. Now, I've heard some people say, oh, it's not a very, powerful phone, blah, blah, blah. What I would say to those people is get over it. That too was a genius idea because it puts a product out, out and about. It's a talking point. Like Richard L says, it's a talking point. Somebody sees it and says, what's that? What's Electroneum? Another genius marketing point. But, guys, E.T. Wonder if that was a for the UFO followers amongst us. Wonder if that was a ET. That's quite interesting. Just noticed that. But yeah, definitely a genius marketing concept to put this here. But guys, big picture. Compare this to all the other stands at the conference, and I would say this one would stand out. Okay. While everybody else is going for bigger, brighter, longer lasting, what has Richard Ells and his team done? They've gone with the concept less is more. If you've ever heard of the concept of less is more, this is it. And even that candy dispenser, that was brilliant, because not only do you bring in the the corporate players, etc. You bring in the kids, you bring in everybody, no doubt that even though they must have little candy, I don't know, but I'd say even in the, underdeveloped worlds, unbanked, that have, little candy, dispensers, things like that. So, okay, the unbanked, they get their, I'm just brainstorming here, hypothetical. The unbanked, they get their little bit of ETN, they put it towards their phone, they've got a little bit extra, so they get find a little dispenser and get their kids a few little lollies or whatever. So genius move, and this proves, I'm sort of laughing at that ET there. This proves that Electroneum is this is thinking outside the square, and this proves why Electroneum is the leader of the pack, and this is why Electroneum, if they carry on like this, then they've already succeeded, but I think they're going to go all the way, because this was brilliant. It was slightly risky, but brilliant. But it proves they think outside the square. It proves they're not afraid not afraid to try new things. Okay, because I'm guessing that at that mobile conference, apart from little gadgets on phones and that, not much new as far as stands. I might be wrong, but probably not much new as far as stands and that are concerned. So yes, definitely, this alone tells you why Electroneum is the leader of the pack among all the other cryptocurrencies, as far as I'm concerned at the moment. They, you know, like I say, they're thinking outside of the square. They're genius moves, and they've got products such as the M1 phone. Now here's a little side conspiracy for the little side conspiracy theorists among us. Apart from that ET there, M1, even that's interesting, because M1 has got to do with the money, the amount of money in the system or something like that, and in fact, don't quote me on this, but there was a guy in Thailand apparently, and he was known as M1. Why? Because he controlled I think it was the he controlled the amount of gold in the world or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but there was a guy in Thailand, not now, but and he was known as M1. But M1 is, you know, people will know, obviously, you know, the fact that M1 is associated with money is not a conspiracy in itself. But a guy in Thailand was known as M1, and he controlled, in a good way, you know, for the benefit of all, and I think it was to do with, if you haven't heard of a thing called Nasara and Jasara. Now, I don't know if Nasara and Jasara are ever going to come about, but there was definitely a guy in Thailand, and he was known as M1, and had to do with him looking after either the world account or world gold or something like that. So there you go, just a few interesting little tidbits. You know, like Electroneum, I'm trying to you know, think outside the square, and you know, be a bit risky with sometimes with what I say, but you know, it's interesting, and you know, it makes the videos interesting. Now, guys, but to sum it up, yeah, I agree with this. Genius marketing at its best. Yeah, and the phone and putting Electroneum on the back, awesome. You know, the dual SIM cards, etc., fantastic. Now, guys, if you don't know, I also do as well as cryptocurrencies, because your cryptocurrencies and blockchain is the way the world's going to go, no doubt about it. You know, if system collapses, now, you know, some will say that oh, it's a conspiracy, world global currency. I doubt it. I doubt it very much. You know, unless, I don't think that's humanity. You know, humanity is always doing. There's two things. I mean, there's thousands of things about human nature, but there's two things about human nature. We always like to be exploring new things, and we don't really like to be tied down or controlled. We always like to be creating stuff. You know, humans are creators, so can't see anybody being happy with one cryptocurrency that rules them all. You know, like Lord of the Rings, one cryptocurrency to rule them all. I can't see it. People will always be coming up with new things, adapting them, creating, but what I would say is that ETN will probably be the first one that will be mass adopted, will have its use in underdeveloped worlds, get those people up and running, you know, help to, and but everything will be ever more creative. The controllers of the world are, without getting into too much, you know, the old ways of doing things, controllers of the world, that looks like it's been taken down, you know, the old way of doing things. So I can't really see, you know, that it's a, maybe 10, 20 years ago, I would have agreed that, you know, it's going to be a global currency. No, but I can't see it now. I can't see it. So, yep, ETN will help to get people going. It'll definitely be the first cryptocurrency that will help people on a mass, en masse, you know, en masse, I would say. Definitely. But it's not all going to end there. And I would say even ETN will adapt. You'll find that ETN will, you know, will keep on adapting, you know, forevermore, I'd say, because there's always new stuff coming on, so they'll probably, you know, have to add things, more things to their, forever adding more new things to their app, etc. It's not going to get to a point and then they'll say, well, that's finished. You know, I don't think even Richard Howells is ever going to get to a point and say, oh, well, that's ETN, I think I'll go and retire and, well, he might better retire, but the apps here to stay, definitely. Okay, now guys, if you can help me by subscribing on your way out, and you know, I try to give value in my videos, so you know, I always talk about my links below. I've got links below to self-defense, I've got links below to health videos, I've got links, yes, thing called earthing, I've got links to Shungite, because I like to keep people healthy. No use being rich and you're in hospital because you're sick and ill and can't move. So I try to yeah, you want to, I won't go into it because I've got so many videos about it, but Google, if you want to get rid of pain, inflammation, research earthing, a thing called earthing, grounding. You can actually sleep you know, grounding. You can sleep 8 hours a night. Earthing will take away your, not only your inflammation, but it'll bring into normality a stress hormone called cortisol. Now Shungite will help with dispersing Wi-Fi's, you know, and guys, here we go. Yeah, I just thought of it. Especially for those people, and I think we're heading towards a place, so it's not a good fun thing. We're heading towards a place where, this is why they're not putting, people say about no, because they just want skinny phones, but they don't put phone jacks. That's why I like the E10 phone, because it has got a phone jack. You want a phone jack rather than a Bluetooth thing. Why? Because Bluetooth is going to cause, I won't say will, but because you can stop it if you really want to. Bluetooth can cause cancer, you know, stick it in your ear. I actually turned down a job not so long ago, as that was one of the points. I had to go around with Bluetooth in my ear pretty much all day. There were other reasons why I turned it down, but that was one of them. You don't want Bluetooth, okay? You don't want that Bluetooth. It's in your ear, near to your brain. You don't want it, okay? So that's another reason why I like phone. But what I was going to say, guys, Shungite. It's a metal. It's like a black rock. I would say it's what they call nano-coated. It's carboned. Indian carbon these days is like trending. Guys, I've got a links to Shungite. Now, what you do is you get a piece of Shungite. I've got a links to it. You stick that. It's the Shungite is got self-adhesive tape on it. You stick that. It's a flat piece. Stick that to the back of your phone, and you don't have to worry about, you know, the EMF fields, the Wi-Fi, whatever. Stick that Shungite on the back, and you should be good to go. But it's like I say, it's good that the phone has got a jack. So there you go, guys. Few health tips, okay? Because nothing works in a vacuum. You know, everything's related. You want to be healthy. You want to be able to, you know, protect you and your family, and protection, as far as I'm concerned, is self-defense. I've got self-defense links below. The best self-defense company in the world, bar none, period. I put a link to that below. You want to, so you can protect your family with that. You can also protect you and your family with by keeping healthy and by using shungite to help to get rid of the disharmonic frequencies caused by all these phones, etc. Okay, there you go, guys. Yeah, if you can subscribe, you can also, if you below this, you'll see a link to you can actually watch my videos on a thing called BitTube. You don't know about BitTube? Well, you guys probably will. But you can earn tubes just by uploading and viewing, watching videos. You can also, you actually nowadays put a BitTube extension on your Chrome. Put a Chrome extension, BitTube Chrome extension on your Chrome, and you'll get paid BitTubes for everything you do, browsing, etc. Okay, yeah, you can go into BitTube, watch us on BitTube, and you can, there's two red buttons, and there's a subscribe button and a tip button. What tip means, you know, like when you're in a cafeteria and you know you think it's there was good service, you can tip the waiter or whatever. So you can tip the particular video if you think it's was of value. So there you go, guys. There's that. So watch my videos on BitTube if you can. If you can't do anything else, hit that subscribe button on the way out. I've got many more videos coming, many helpful videos coming now. I've also got links to my various what do you call them, cryptocurrencies, including ETN and my you know, code for ETN. So you can donate that way. I have got a Patreon account, and I'm looking to get in a PayPal account that people can donate to. But yeah, like I say, if you can't do any of that, just hit that subscribe button on the way out, and I'll see you in the next one.